Just like that, we're back. Hey, everybody. For those of you who don't know, I posted 2 videos today. The first one was a question that was asked earlier, and now we're going to be talking about dog training. Specifically, we're going to be going over the command sit. So this has been a long time coming. These are the top 3 basic tricks that you always start with in dog training, or the fundamentals that you really want to have solid when you enter the world of dog training. The first one of them being sit. Sit is universal. You'll be using sit for everything. You tell them sit when they leave it. You tell them sit at the door. You tell them sit here. You tell them sit there. Sit is everywhere. But how do you start with sit? And it's actually super easy. This is going to be one of my shortest videos. You simply take the dog treat, high value, one that they really enjoy, especially at first, hold it up to their nose, and you slowly lift your hand up. And as you lift your hand up, their nose will go up with it. And naturally, because their nose went up, their butt will come down. That's it. That's it. The rule of thumb whenever going over dog training is where the nose goes, the butt follows. So if you hold the treat right in front of their nose and slowly lift it up and make their head tilt up, naturally their butt has to fall down. Now sometimes there's going to be a little bit of a curve to it where you're going to go a little bit up and behind their head just to get them more incentivized to sit down. Totally fine, still within the realms of dog training. As long as their butt hits the ground, you're fine. Now as soon as their butt does hit the ground, you'll want them to get up and do it again and do it again. Do it a few times until they do it every time reliably. Once they're doing it every time reliably, then you can start adding the word sit. You don't want to start at the beginning because you might be cueing in the wrong command. So a lot of the times with these training tricks, easy mistake to make, as their butt's going down, you say sit, then the command gets confused, and now sit is their butt nearly down, not all the way down, or some other crazy thing like that. You have to be very specific with dogs and their body language because that's their only thing that they have to go off of. So again, you take the treat, hold it in front of the nose, lift it up slowly, maybe a little bit behind the head. As soon as their butt hits the ground, then say sit. Give them the treat immediately, and that's it. And you're just going to walk around the house and do that as much as possible. The more advanced versions of this would be doing it across the room. You'd have to know stay, or you'd have to just catch them off guard where they're looking around or doing something else, and you can just tell them sit. So in the demonstration, you may notice that when I do sit, I lift my hand up in a certain way. That is my physical body cue that I need to do to tell them that I'm doing sit. So we're not only telling our dogs to sit verbally, we're telling them to sit visually as well. That way, you should be able to, from across the room, just say sit. However, sometimes they don't, and you can add in the extra cue of raising your hand up, and that should get them to sit. We're covering our bases on all the ways that they are taking in our cues. Now, what that means is that if your dog is deaf, you're going to be able to work with this command as well. If your dog is blind, it's going to be a little bit harder to work with, and you may actually need to get in there with your hands and kind of arrange how you want them to be, but it's still possible. So whenever you're working on training, you always do want to work with extra distractions. You want to throw in something like a squeaky toy off to the distance and they still have to listen to you and sit, or somebody's doing something fun. You want to have some help with this one where maybe there's knocking at the door and they still have to listen to you and sit. That's another really important one. Or you want to do something that makes it more difficult for them. What you're doing with this is you're raising the threshold that they'll listen to you over other outside objects. Take them to the dog park and try to get them to sit while there's other dogs running around them and being crazy. And if you're able to get them to sit while there's dogs being wild and crazy and having fun around them, then you know you've mastered sit. That is going to be it for this video. We're going to be going over the other basics next week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And now I'll see you guys on Tuesday.